Elcamino is one of those slept on artists who I'm starting to believe is incapable of putting out a bad project. What is good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Muff. If you are rocking with this content, please smash that like button up for your boy, as that is greatly appreciated. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. But today, I'm going to hit y'all with my thoughts on this new project from Elcamino and Real Bad Man entitled The Game is the Game. Buffalo rapper and black Soprano family signee Elcamino has had an insanely prolific run since around the COVID days. Elcamino is an artist who is extremely versatile, not only because he has a good flow, a strong hook game, but also because he has a voice that has that grimy, authentic New York sound that I think fits well over a lot of instrumentals. But this new project, The Game is the Game, is his second drop of 2024, and his They Spit on Jesus album ended up being one of my favorites from last year. Now, for this new release, he teamed up with the ultra funky and psychedelic LA producer duo known as Real Bad Man, and these guys have been cooking up some heat for artists like Bodie James, Rome Streets, Stove God Cook, Smoke Dizza, Blue, and even Kool Keith. And you could even say that this production team is underrated or not mentioned enough for their consistent contributions since around 2020. But getting right into The Game is the Game, it contains 10 songs lasting approximately 28 minutes. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with that track by track breakdown. The opening song, Give Them Hope, Curtis, sets this soulful tone right out the gate. There's a sample of this 70s funky piano riff that I've heard used in hip-hop songs since the 90s. So if you know, you know. And Elcamino is doing some soulful crooning on the chorus that sounded great. So yeah, this was a dope vintage opener to set things off. Track 2, Chest Wrestlers, has an unorthodox and slightly ingratiating beat and this max beat like hook from Elcamino that was pretty groovy. On this one, Elcamino is talking down to the clowns out there who want to posture. He raps, "I don't got time for you chest wrestlers, you fake aggressive coke snorters that's mad cause I'm nothing short of excellence." And there were also some slightly amusing bars too, like hate when bitches say they cooked and they just air frying. But yeah, overall solid track. Next is Champagne Pisses featuring The Butcher Man, and it's the main single from this project. Set to some glorious horns that gives it that glamorous but golden era sound. There's also a slick sung R&B hook from an unknown artist that was pretty solid. Yeah, this is one of those smooth level up type of anthems where they go from having those champagne wishes to these champagne pisses. Pause. Benny does have a clever coke bar though. Fronted work, then I had to collect paper. Fish left my kitchen raw like a Japanese chef made it. What comes next is Fashion Week featuring King Ralph. Now this has a spooky outer space like beat that is not a favorite, but it's serviceable. Elcamino does come through with some fly fashion references though, talking about how he has both the music and the clothing hustle on lock, and how somehow his vinyls go on eBay for like $600. Following this is New Levels, where we get some wavy vibraphones and crisp drums. On here, he's talking about reaching new heights, so there is that motivational quality that I dug. I also like the smooth melodic feel to the production. Track 6, Come On Nephew, has a remarkable soul chop that makes it one of the standouts. And with this record, Elcamino is reading an open letter that he penned to his nephew about some BS street stuff that he had to forgive him for. I guess his nephew had come up short on the work, on some knucklehead stuff, but Elcamino, being the benevolent uncle that he was, forgave him. But yeah, the warm chipmunk soul and the storytelling made this a highlight. Afterwards is No Fighting with Bodie James, and it has that gritty type of organ backdrop that feels tailor-made for Bodie James. And as solid as Bodie's verse was, Elcamino, he came through with some decent hustling bars, like when he said, similar to Frank Lucas, except we trapped in furs. All my mama know is he's up. She don't ask a word. Pastor's words couldn't make me stay longer after church. And got a 9 to 5, but I got on the Ave to work. The subsequent track, Expensive Cloth, is another one of my favorites. This has a dusty but funk-laden bass line that's hella groovy. And on this track, Elcamino talks about being cut from a different texture. There are some hustle and motivate like lines on here, and also some sillier stuff like, see, Martin Luther had a dream, so did I, but I turned mine to something I could see, and it's busting out my entire jeans. But yeah, this was a very cool track with the inspiring bars and the groovy production. Second to last song is Melrose with Rick Hyde, and it's backed by some piano-inflicted boom bap. And once more, they're talking about elevating and getting it out the mud. Rick Hyde came through with the witty drug bars though. That boogie turned boys to men like Wanye across the street from my kid's house like Kanye. Then this project closes out with Slick Talk featuring Player K, and it has one of my favorite wavy instrumentals on a project. I really dug the chilly nocturnal synths. And Player K had some slick bars based on the show Martin with, I woke up in the morning to 100 P's in the crib. A dude felt like Gina, all the weight on my head. I had the Tommy with no job. I was stealing and shit. So overall, I'm going to give this project a rating of 4 mics. Like many Elcamino releases, this one did not disappoint, and it was cool to see him work alongside Real Bad Man. What you are essentially getting with this project is straightforward street music, you know, with a splash of that melodicism, you know, that gritty upstate New York hip hop that is a bit wavy at the same time. Like I said earlier, Elcamino, he can't seem to miss, but I did like this one a bit more than his Here You Go project that dropped in January. Plus, you can't go wrong with the wire skits pretty much on each track as well. It was what you would expect from an Elcamino project, and I'm perfectly okay with that. At the moment, I like it almost as much as they spent on Jesus, but not quite as much because last year's release was more fleshed out, and this had more of the EP feel. My favorite tracks include Give Them Hope, Champagne Pisses, New Levels, Come On Nephew, Expensive Cloth, and Slick Talk. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out. As always, it's peace and blessings. Elcamino, Real Bad Man. The game is the game. 1.